In this video, we're going to talk about organic ranking and link building. The most important point that I want to get across is that Google ranks pages, not websites. It took me a while to grasp this concept when I first heard it from Dan Thies. He's one of the most respected SEO experts in the world. So basically, when you're thinking about ranking organically, you're talking about ranking each individual page, not ranking the website as a whole, and not ranking just the home page. And also remember that we are talking about organic ranking, not Google Places. They are ranked in different ways, like I explained before, but organic ranking will help Google Places when we are talking about the combination of organic and places results. I want to show you an example again. So here's a combination. This is for carpet cleaning Miami. Here is a combination of organic and Google Places results. This stuff that we are going to be talking about in the next several videos have to do with ranking these kinds of results, not ranking these results. I think it is getting more and more important to do organic ranking when you're talking about Google Places because these kinds of results are showing up more and more, and it may overtake the old Google Places eventually. I don't know. It's hard to tell at this point. Now, once your keywords have been placed on your actual website, as we talked about in the on-site keywords placement video, once you get all of the keywords placed on your website the way that they need to be placed, it's time to start building links to those specific pages. Links, or backlinks as they're also known as, are the most powerful way to rank a website organically. And these simply are just links from someone else's website back to yours. In this video series, we're going to learn 3 of the easiest and most powerful ways to build backlinks to your website. And I want to show you an example here. When we're talking about links, we're talking about words that are typically in blue, and when you click on them, they go to a different website or a different page. That right there is an example of a link or a backlink. Now, before we get into link building, I want to talk about quality links versus spammy links. Now, if there's a link on a page and people never go to that page, it probably will not count for much. Not all links are equal. Some links are very powerful, some links are completely worthless. I want to show you an example of a link that I think would be worthless. Here's just a list of links on this page. Okay? There's no content, there's nothing useful on this page. It's just a bunch of links with a couple little sentences below. This is probably what's called a link farm or a link network that was set this up here. And so these are not the kind of links that we want to go for. We want to go for quality links. Now, when we're talking about quality links, we're talking about links that have your keyword in the text of the links, and this is called anchor text. So an example of anchor text would be, for example, right here, pet health. Okay, so pet health is probably a word that this website is trying to rank for. So let's click on this and see. Okay, so this takes us to the Pet's Best insurance site. And you can look at the top here and see what the title is. We talked about this with on-site keyword placement. And the 2 keywords they're going for, well, 3 keywords in this instance, is pet insurance, pet health, and Pet's Best insurance. Okay, so pet health is one of their main keywords they're going for. So if we click back to the link that we just clicked on to get there, the actual text in that link is pet health. That is the anchor text, and this is exactly what you want to do for your website. So if you're going for carpet cleaning Kansas City and you're building a link, you want that link to say carpet cleaning Kansas City. That is called anchor text, and it's very important because it tells Google what exactly that you want your site to rank for. Not that just you want it to rank, but you want it to rank for these specific keywords. Now I want to make an important note here. You don't want every link to have the exact same keyword. You don't want 100 keywords going to your site that all have the exact same keyword. You want to switch that keyword up a little bit, and once in a while you want to throw in maybe your company name, or you want to throw in the words click here, or maybe even your own personal name. You just don't want it to all be exactly the same keyword for every link that goes back to your site. And the reason is because Google thinks that that looks unnatural and they might count it as spam. So instead of, for example, let's go back to our example here. Instead of having pet health for every single keyword out there, throw some other keywords in there once in a while. It's a good rule of thumb to have 20% of your keywords be something, or I'm sorry, 20% of your links be something other than your keyword. You know, don't make a big deal about it, but just make sure that you switch it up once in a while. Now, I also want to point out that different pages on your website will have different keywords. So you're going for 20 different keywords and you're going to have, I don't know, 15 to 20 different pages, different keywords, you know, targeting each page. Like we talked about before, you want 1, 2, maybe 3 keywords per page. If you're linking to a specific page and you want to target that keyword, make sure that that keyword matches up with that page. You always want it to match. So if you're going for pet health and your home page is not optimized, does not have keywords placed on there for pet health, don't link it to your home page. Link it to one of your other pages that does target pet health. I hope that makes sense. Another thing I want to touch on is placing your link within a sentence or within some text as opposed to just having the link stand alone by itself. It is going to be more powerful to have a link that is within a sentence like this one. This is the best thing you can possibly do for a link. Here's an example of the same link. Let me find it here. Okay, down here. Here's an example of the same link, pet health. Now we click on that, and that takes us to the exact same place that this link over here did. So we click on that. They both take us to the same website. This link is going to be more powerful than this link because this link is standing alone. It's all by itself. I'm not saying it's not going to help. It will help by having some links that are just standalone, but to have them be even more powerful, you want to have them within a sentence. And we will get more into that when we get into the actual how-to of link building. Now I want to talk about when you're linking to a specific page on your website, I want to talk about the content or the text that is actually on the website. Google looks at text, not just pictures and videos. They want to see text because that way they can tell exactly what the website is about and that there actually is some useful information. You don't want your pages that you're trying to rank, you don't want them to be complete copy and paste. This is called duplicate content. Google wants unique, fresh content, and they will rank that higher than duplicate content. I'm not saying you can't rank duplicate content. I'm saying if you have a better chance of ranking if your content or the text on your web page is unique. Now, the best thing to do is, rather than just copy and paste a bunch of information from other websites, is to find content that you like and repurpose it. That means you can copy and paste it into, let's say, a Word document, but then reword it and change it by at least 20%. And then you can post it onto your website, and that will be considered unique content. If you need somebody else to do this for you and you don't want to do any writing yourself or any repurposing of content, you can always go to a website called textbrokers.com. I've been hearing some really good things about them from one of my website clients, so I highly recommend it. You can actually pick from several or hundreds of different writers, very reasonably priced. And how much content do you actually need on each website, or on each web page, I'm sorry? I think it's a good rule of thumb to have 100 words or more. And also to have at least one picture and possibly a video. Now, I have seen sites that rank #1 with only 3 or 4 sentences, and so it's not absolutely necessary to have 100 words or more, but it is recommended. Okay, another thing I want to talk about are reciprocal links or link exchanges. This is basically just link trading. You basically find somebody else that has a website and say, I will link to your website if you link to mine. Now, the first issue with this is that you have to know how to put links on your website, and if you don't know how to do that, you have to have your web designer do that for you. And there's a lot of disagreement whether or not these types of link trades will actually help your website rank. Now, it definitely does not hurt your website. And what I recommend doing is some link trading, but be picky. Don't spend too much time on it, and make sure that the site that you're trading with is in the same city or the same market area. Don't just trade links with every site out there. There are link exchange programs out there, but most of them are useless. They used to work well, but Google caught on to it and it just made it too easy for people to basically cheat. And so they're not that powerful anymore. But I do recommend, if you have a handful of businesses in your area that you want to trade links with, I recommend doing that. I think it can help. The next thing I want to talk about is new websites. If you've got a website that, let's say, is less than 6 months old, you do not want to put too many links going to that website too fast. What will happen if you do is your website will rank very high very quickly, but then after a week or two it'll drop out of the rankings completely, and it may not return for 30 days to 6 months. It just depends. I will give you an example. I was working on ranking a specific carpet cleaning website. It was brand new, and I sent about 10 to 20 links per day to that website. And like I said, it ranked up really fast, really high, like it was in the number 3 position. 2 weeks later, it was gone. It was in like the 80s. It was ranked like 85th or something like that. And I just kept putting links to it anyway, and within 2 months it jumped up to number 20, and within 4 months it jumped up to number 1, number 2. It bounces back between number 1 and number 2 currently. Now, this is called the Google dance, and this happens typically with new websites. And the more links you throw at it, if you do that too fast, it's going to definitely drop your rankings initially. Eventually, it will come back up. But what I recommend you do is just build 2 to 5 links per day on your website maximum. That might even be overkill. You might just want to stick with 1 link per day. Just don't do it. Just don't overdo it on a new website. Websites that have been around for a while can usually handle more links without being affected by the Google dance, but you still want to be careful. You don't want hundreds of links every day going to your website. It just doesn't look natural to Google. The next thing I want to talk about are link programs and auto-linking software. So once you start building links, you'll think, this is just boring. There has to be an easier way to do this. Well, there is an easier way, and it's called link spamming. And there are lots of products, link farms, and networks that will promise you thousands and thousands of links and that you'll rank very high. But in reality, they just don't do much. Some of them can even hurt your site permanently. Believe me, I have tried lots of these different programs, and it was all a big waste of money and even a bigger waste of my time. All of the top SEO experts out there will recommend against doing any kind of automated link building or joining these big expensive link farms. If you really want results, just be patient, follow the plan outlined in this course, and I guarantee you will see results in 6 months or less, probably less. One other thing I do want to mention is that if you're checking your website rankings, I'll show you an example here. Let's go to Google. Okay, so let's type in carpet cleaning Kansas City. Let's do a Google search for carpet cleaning Kansas City. Okay, what we see here, the number one result, letter A, in the organic places combination results page, we're going to see my website, the one that I have built. Okay, here it is. And it's showing that it's ranking at the very top. Well, this is not accurate because you can see up here that I am logged into my Gmail account or one of my Google accounts. This can be Gmail or it can be any account that you have with Google. And you can tell if you're logged in by looking up in the right hand corner and seeing if it shows up there. So what I want to do is sign out, and now you see the same exact search term, carpet cleaning Kansas City, and you see that that website is not number one. It's because when you're logged into your own account and you're doing searches on your own website, Google will place you a lot higher than what other people see you. So you want to make sure to get accurate results to always sign out. So now that you see that dropped me down to the C position as opposed to the A position now that I'm signed out. So you know, don't get excited if you check your website one day, check the rankings one day, and it shows you at the top. Always make sure you are signed out. If you don't have a Gmail account or a Google account, then don't worry about it. This won't apply. This is only if you have a Google account or a Gmail account.